everybody, my name is Cruz. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to give you an update on the Line 6 HX STOMP. So I uploaded the video last week, Kemper versus the HX STOMP, gave you some tones, showed you some things, but I have to admit, I don't feel like I gave the HX STOMP its fair shake. I had it for about a week. I thought that week gave me plenty of time to get into the product. I thought that I did enough research, and it turns out I needed a lot of help. And the comments left under the video, comments that were left on my Facebook pages, my Instagram, all helped out greatly. You guys gave me such insight on how I could better perfect the sound of the HX STOMP. I have a few events coming up this week. I also have some recording sessions that I have to get done. I'm going to put this thing through the test and really give it its fair try. I love the Kemper, but as I mentioned in last week's video, the idea of being able to wire my pedal board differently in terms of getting the most out of my pedal board while my amp is actually sitting on a pedal board would be really fantastic. So in this video I'm going to show you some of the sounds that I've come up with this week, and I think they're much better than last week. I'm going to compare them to last week's sounds, and then you can tell me what you really think of the Line 6 HX STOMP. Before we get started, I'm going to show you my pedal board, and then I'll show you some tones. It's pretty much the same as it's always been. If you've been a fan of my channel, if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen this pedal board over and over again. The only thing I did was I removed my reverb, and I removed the Emerson M drive, which was more acting like a back-end preamp. I'm going to give you a quick little rundown just to give you an idea of how I'm running everything. I'm going into the Boss ES5. I'm using 4 loops out of the 5 that's available. Walrus Audio Deep 6 goes into 1. JHS Morning Glory goes into 2. Wampler Tumnus goes into 3. Ibanez Tube Screamer goes into 4. It just has a dedicated tuner out, so that's how I'm feeding the Boss TU2 chromatic tuner. This also is going MIDI out to the Sela Quartz, which is giving all of my delays tap tempo information. And then finally, I go out of the output of the ES5 to the Dunlop Volume Pedal Mini, and then into the Stomp. Then I go out of the effects loop of the HX STOMP into the Digicheck Jamman Solo XT for all of my pads. Then that goes into Boss DD5. Then that goes into the Strymon El Capistan and back into the effects loop. And then ultimately that goes out into my DAW. Now let's quickly show you some sounds. I'll show you how I have this HX STOMP set up too to make all this work. I'm using 2 amps, and I'm splitting the signal at the very beginning, so it's a wise split according to the way the HX STOMP is operating. I'm using an AC style amp. I'm using the A30 Fawn normal, and then I'm splitting my signal also to a Tweed Blues normal. And then from those 2 amps, I'm going into an LRS M2 ATP 121Z03 IR. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds good, okay? And from there, I'm going into a 10-band EQ that I pretty much stole from Tone Junkie. So I kind of started off with their free preset and enhanced it a little bit, according to my ears. And then I go into an effects loop, which is how I'm running my delays, and then into my Glitz reverb from the HX STOMP. Notice that I'm doing something that I've never been able to do outside of the studio, which is run my effects post not only amp, but also even IR and even EQ. I'm actually able to do it right here on my pedal board. So that's one of the reasons why I love the STOMP so far. Just the flexibility to be able to set up a really complicated style setup without it being complicated at all. You can do everything on their editor, which is really useful. Without further ado, here is my clean sound. This is with compression from the Deep 6. I also have the El Capistan on, the Boss DD5, and the Glitz reverb from the HX STOMP. That was on the bridge pickup of my Nash T52. Let's go to the middle position. Now let's go to the neck position. What I'm hearing is that everything is full, but nothing is too bassy or not usable. So all 3 positions are giving me very beautiful tones, and that's on clean. In my last video where the HX Stomp was failing me personally is when I started to add drives. So I want to quickly add the Morning Glory and start stacking my drives so you can hear how after some time, some work on the stomp, I was able to really come up with really great tones and a great pedal platform. We're going to stay on the neck position and introduce now the Morning Glory. Now let's bring on the Wampler Tumnus. I'm going to quickly switch to the bridge position here. Now I'm going to stack the Morning Glory and the Tumnus together for my more high gain style drive. Now I'm going to show you my solo tone. It's a whole lot of drive, a whole lot of effects. Let's see how the HX Stomp holds up. So there it is. This is what it sounds like now. I'm actually pretty content with this sound. That warmth and that body that I was missing last week, I feel like I found it. You always hear people say, hey, if you're going to use the HX series of Line 6 products, you need to invest in IRs. I heard that over and over again. I thought, let's just grab a few free presets that come with IRs and we'll be fine. That didn't work for me. Not to downplay some of the free presets that are available, but having a whole arsenal of IRs that can work around your ears, your product, your amps, your pedals is really, really important. And the truth is, the investment was $15. I paid $15 for dozens and dozens of IRs. At the end of the day, they all sounded really, really great. They sounded different. Some of them weren't for me, but the few that I loved were really for me, and they really transformed the sound of the HX Stomp. So now what I want to do is quickly show you the setup that I had last week, so you could hear the difference. Now I was using a US small tweed, and I was using an IR by Tone Junkie. And this is not a downplay to Tone Junkie, as anyone who has Tone Junkie profiles from the Kemper knows that, in my humble opinion, they're the very best. I'm going to take off the reverbs and the delays so you can just hear the amp sound clean, and this is what we've got. Again, clean. It was nothing that I was ever really dissatisfied with. It was when I started adding drives where I started hearing the sort of the stuff that I didn't love about the HX Stomp in the beginning. Now we're going to go back to my preset really quickly and show you, and again I'll remove the delays and reverb so you can hear just the amp sounds. We're going to stay on that very same sound. That was the Wampler Tumnus. What I heard was it was being less amp-like. It sounded more like a digital product going directly into... It sounded more like a digital product going directly into a DAW. And where this sounds like there's an amp in the room with a mic on it, and it's something a little more familiar sounding to my ears. If you like the other tone, great. You can get that with the HX Stomp with no problem, but this is just to show you that you can also get other tones if you like a more warmer, more amp-like style tone as well. The HX Stomp is offering everything A to Z. Like, it's really incredible what it's doing. Now I'm going to talk about some of the snapshots that I have. I have obviously just 3 available to me. Snapshot number one, I'm going to turn the reverb back on and leave the delays off. I'm going to go back to my clean sound, the neck position on the Nash T52, and I'm going to show you the reverb. Now listen out how the decay is just a little bit different than normal. So if you hear it, the reverb is there, but the decay and the overall mix is relatively low, and it's just so I can pull off more funkier or maybe faster songs without the reverb getting in the way. But it's not aggressive and in your face like I would probably love it to be when I do more ambient worship stuff. So now let's go to Snap 2, and you're going to hear a pretty big difference in that. It's the same glitz reverb that was in Snap 1, but it's a lot more delay, a lot more decay, and a lot more mix. Now I'm going to show you Snap 3, which is way over the top ambient, but still extremely usable. And by just keeping that pre-roll high, this is a lot more decay, a lot more mix, but it's giving you a really nice ambient sound. But if you listen, the sound, my tone is still present, is still there. With that snap, I typically add on delays so I can do some swelling and ambient stuff. One thing that's worth mentioning is that I've never been able to use that amount of delay and reverb and pad-like tones without getting some form of distortion. 9 times out of 10 is because I've been forced to run into the front end of an amp. The amps I like using typically don't have effects loops, and the few that I have tried, sometimes I don't always like what the effects loop does. And so I've never been really happy with that kind of stuff, but being able to put it into the HX Stomp, being able to say I want delays wherever I want them, I want reverb wherever I want it, is such a convenient thing, and it's the cleanest ambient stuff that I've ever been able to produce, to the point where it's like I'm eager to work now. I'm eager to get stuff done because I want to put this sound onto paper. It's such a good tone. So needless to say, it looks like I'm really leaning towards the HX Stomp here. I still love my Kemper. I still think it's amazing, but the possibilities and the sound that I was able to produce with the HX Stomp clearly, I believe, can hold its own and can definitely compete with the Kemper and real amp tones. Now, the real test is going to be this week when I actually am able to play it live. I believe I can get it done in sessions with no problem. I'm hearing it right now and have no issue with that, but live is where it really matters for me, because if I can't sit in a mix well in a live situation, if I feel like a lot of digital products do, it's thin, I can't compete with everyone, then it's, to me, probably worth a second guess and thinking maybe I should keep the Kemper, because with the Kemper I'm able to hang with no problem. So we will see. Maybe I'll vlog it, who knows. Anyway, I hope this has helped. This has been my update, line 6. Sorry I didn't do your pedal justice last week, but I think I was able to get something really done this week. The HX Stomp, man, it's legit, it's real. If you are considering going digital and need an amp and you want it at your feet, this is the product for you, no doubt. No one's paying me to say this. I purchased this with my own hard-earned money, and I am very, very happy that I have it. So thanks again for watching. Please be sure to comment below, let me know what you think of some of the more updated sounds that I came up with. Tell me how you think I can improve it, because a lot of you had some really amazing ideas and opinions. I really enjoyed it. And you guys were so nice. Thank you to all my new subscribers and all the people watching because of that video from last week. It really means a lot. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like, and until next time.